Jessica is a nice and talented person I've ever met, and on top of that, her beauty was mesmerizing. She had gorgeous skin, long black curly hair, a few piercings and tattoos, light brown eyes, inviting lips that always had that one shade of clear pink lip gloss. Jessica also smelled like vanilla. That was her signature scent, but she would often switch to mango or peaches during summer. She wore a lot of jewelry. I teased her a lot about it, but truly, I think that gold was made for her skin. Her fashion style was vast. Jessica wore whatever she liked, from edgy to earthy, from coquette to Y2K. Anything she wore was perfect on her. My favorite thing about her was her seductive gaze. She could get anything she wanted with those eyes, and I was a happy victim. Living with her was easy and comfortable. She was a great cook, and I was a clean freak, and we managed to find a balance somewhere in between. I might have developed some sort of attraction for her, but Jessica was awfully straight, or so I thought. I rarely deal with insomnia, but that night it was late and I couldn't sleep. After many failed attempts, I decided to go get a light midnight snack. On my way to the kitchen, I noticed that there was noise coming from Jessica's room, so I thought that she might be having trouble sleeping too. Just when I was about to knock on her door, I heard a whimper. I moved closer to the door and it instantly felt wrong. Those whimpers were Jessica's. It wasn't hard to guess what she was doing in the darkness of her bedroom. I blushed from embarrassment and started to feel guilty for eavesdropping. But for some reason, I couldn't walk away. It's like I was frozen in front of her bedroom door. It was wrong, but I just couldn't move. What the hell was I doing, I thought, before stepping away. I knew it was wrong to listen to her pleasuring herself, but my curiosity was driving me crazy. Maybe I was mistaken, and she wasn't masturbating. Maybe I was wrong. I moved a little closer to the door to try to listen a little better. She was moaning softly and panting. My cheeks got hotter and I stepped away again. She was clearly pleasuring herself. After getting this confirmation, I should have walked away, but instead, I gently leaned my head against her door, careful not to make any noise. A pang of shame washed over me. Jessica was my friend and flatmate. I shouldn't be invading her intimacy like this. No matter how attracted I was to her, this was just wrong. I had just took the resolution to walk away when I heard her say my name under her breath. What the fuck? I was shocked and confused, so I pressed my ear against the door once again to listen more carefully. Maybe I heard wrong and she wasn't actually moaning my name, right? She said it again and my heart skipped a beat. I couldn't believe it. I stepped away and nervously bit my lip. This couldn't be real. Was she really, while thinking about me? I felt my face burning red. I should leave. I shouldn't be listening to her private moment like this, I thought, as I took another step back. But I couldn't move anymore. I was frozen in front of her bedroom door, listening to her pleasuring herself and saying my name. A fire was burning inside me. I had never felt like this before. I couldn't believe what was happening. My flatmate, who I thought was straight, was fantasizing about me. And suddenly I started to picture her laying on her bed, legs apart and touching herself. I pictured my hand replacing hers, my fingers dipping in her slickness, the warm feeling of her tight cunt, her panting breath, her little moans and whimpers, my name on her lips. It was like the temperature had got higher. Those thoughts were filling my brain. I was frozen in front of her bedroom door, and she was still saying my name. I couldn't handle it anymore. I needed to do something. Before I could think, my hand was on the door's knob, and my heart was pounding in my chest as I slowly opened the door. I guess she didn't hear me because her body was still moving under her sheets. Feeling the need to see her completely, I opened the door a little more. The first thing I laid my eyes on was her gorgeous face in the moonlit room. I still can't describe how beautiful she was at that moment. Her eyes were closed, her lips parted, her skin slightly glowing in the dim light. She looked perfect. I couldn't control myself. It felt like her body was a magnet slowly pulling me inside her bedroom. Suddenly, she opened her eyes, and we both froze. We were looking at each other in shock. My heart was pounding in my chest. I did not know what to say. I should have apologized for invading her privacy like this, but the words were stuck in my mouth. Without realizing, my feet had brought me to her bedside and I sat down on the edge of her bed. She kept staring at me silently, her face flushed, still shocked by my unexpected intrusion. Her hair was messy, her skin shining with a fine layer of sweat, her chest slowly rising, her body slightly trembling under the sheets. I had never seen her this before. She was so beautiful. My brain kept telling me to go back to my room, but I just wanted to kiss her lips and drown into her beautiful eyes. After a while of staring at each other, she was the first to break the silence. "How long have you been there, listening, watching?" Her voice was soft and shaky. I didn't know what to say. I was ashamed and embarrassed that she caught me invading her space and intimacy like this. Not, not that long. I was just on my way to the kitchen and I heard noises and you said my name, so I couldn't help myself. My heart was hammering in my chest and I couldn't bring myself to look at her in the eyes. "So you decided to come in, watching me while I was..." She blushed more than before and looked away. Seeing her act so shyly made me want to push my luck a bit. So I reached my hand and gently lifted her chin up to look at me. I could read shame and embarrassment in her eyes, but also desire. Her eyes were mesmerizing. It was so easy to get lost in them. I leaned closer to her without thinking, and suddenly our faces were just centimeters apart. I could feel her breath on my face, and time seemed to slow down as I got lost in her presence. We were so close to each other. My body was heating up and my heart was menacing to jump out of my chest. And then she spoke in a whisper. "What are you doing?" Her voice was shaky, hinting her nervousness, but my body was moving on its own, dangerously getting closer to her until our lips were just centimeters away. Her lips looked so soft. I couldn't take it anymore. I wanted to kiss her so badly. My body was screaming at me to close the gap, but I didn't want to step further into her space without consent. I don't know. The heat on my skin was unbearable, and my body was aching to get a bit of her touch. "Please, can I just kiss you?" I spoke in a shaky whisper. It felt like an eternity waiting for her answer. And then she nodded softly, giving me the permission I was desperately seeking. Without wasting any time, I closed the remaining gap between us, and I kissed her soft and gently. Kissing her was better than I imagined. Her lips were so soft and warm. The moment my lips touched hers, it felt like electricity was running through my body. A strong rush of love filled my chest and my mind. I wanted more. I needed more. Her taste was like a drug. I couldn't get enough. I kept kissing her, slowly and sensually at first, but as things got heated, our kisses became more and more intense. I started to deepen the kiss, slipping my tongue inside her mouth and hers in mine. Her taste was divine. I could hear her gasping. The tiny sounds that she was making were driving me crazy. I gently pushed her onto the bed, laying her down and moving to be on top of her without breaking our kiss. I could feel the heat of her body under me and her hands holding me tightly into the kiss. I started to move my kisses downward, kissing her jawline, her neck, feeling her body arching up to me as I was getting lower and lower. Her scent was so sweet. Her sweet vanilla scent made me want to kiss every inch of her body. Then I heard her hands grabbing my shoulders as if to stop me. I stopped and looked at her, a bit worried that I might cross the line or that she might have changed her mind. "Please wait," she said in a shaky voice. Her face was flushed and sweaty and her eyes glassy. She was panting and I could tell that her body was begging to be touched, but there was something holding her back. I immediately stopped and looked at her, my concern growing by the minute. "Are you okay? I'm sorry. I got carried away and I'll stop if you..." She suddenly looked at me, her eyes filled with confusion and something I couldn't identify. "No, I want you, but..." She bit her lower lip anxiously, clearly struggling with what she wanted to say. I reached out and gently cupped her face in my hand, trying to reassure her. "Hey, just say it. You can tell me anything. I won't laugh or judge you." She looked into my eyes. Her expression was a mix of anxiety and embarrassment. She took a deep breath and finally spoke. I I have never um done this with a girl before. I wasn't surprised by her confession, but I was relieved that I hadn't accidentally pressured her into something she wasn't comfortable with. Hey, it's okay. There's nothing to be nervous about. I smiled at her gently, caressing her face with my thumb. I leaned down and placed a light kiss on her forehead, then her nose, then I moved to whisper in her ear. I'll take care of you. Just relax and let me take care of you. She shivered as I whispered in her ear, and I could feel her body relaxing a bit. She nodded softly and closed her eyes, letting herself melt into my touch. Slowly, I start to kiss her again, this time with soft and slow kisses. I started her forehead, then moving